Recently, Pokemon Black and White 2 were released. I didn't hear about these games until 2 weeks before the release date, so that meant that I wouldn't have to wait too long before they'd be available at the shops. That's great, I thought. But before I play Pokemon Black and White 2, I should play Pokemon Black and White to go over the story. At first, I wasn't sure whether I should tell anyone about this tale of mine. No one would believe me. But for anyone who wants to hear me out, this is what happened. Back when Pokemon Black and White got released, I had just downloaded Pokemon Black and played it on my flash card. I went through the majority of the game and it pretty much had it beat. The problem is that my flash card doesn't work anymore these days, and since I wanted to continue playing through the story, this was a real bummer. Luckily enough, my friend was kind enough to lend me her Pokemon White version, so that I might continue to enjoy it and pick up beyond where I had originally left off. Everything seemed to be okay. When I started the game, Juniper gave me the lecture about what Pokemon were and how I was to start a great journey. Well, anyway, after telling her my name and gender, the game started. I picked Tepig, battled Cheren and Bianca, and went through all the other boring stuff you do when you start a new game. But when I first battled N, the normal dialogue didn't appear. I thought the game had frozen and I went to turn off my DS, but then I realized that I could still walk around. Maybe it was just a bug or something. I didn't think much of it as I just wanted to continue the game. But something strange happened when I tried to leave the town. A text box appeared. I can't just leave him there. Weird. I didn't remember this being the original Pokemon Black game, so I thought that Pokemon White must be a bit different. Oh, how I regret not turning the game off there and then, and never looking at it again. I walked back to N and talked to him. My Pokemon, they're badly hurt. A text box appeared. Give him a potion. Yes or no? Without even thinking about the answer, I selected yes. You don't have any potions. I was surprised. I was sure I had a potion in my bag, and I didn't use it in the battle with N. N ran to the Pokemon Center. He didn't just run normally. He sprinted to the Pokemon Center, like his Pokemon were in terrible danger. At first, I thought it was a little strange. After all these years, Game Freak actually made two significantly different games. I liked it. Everything else in the game just seemed to be the same though. And I started to wonder if they changed that part, why not other aspects of the game? The next thing that caught my attention was during the second battle with N. His sprite wasn't the normal one, usually so calm and collected. He backed away from me. I don't want you to hurt my Pokemon again. Go away. After that, the screen turned black. Damn it, my DS had died. Frustrated, I recharged the battery and a couple hours later, I continued the game. From there, the game was back to normal, which confused me even further. Why would a game be so different from the beginning, only to revert back to the usual style of story? I collected all 8 badges, defeated the Elite Four, and entered the castle. This is where things started getting strange again. When I walked into N's room, the usual creepy ass music started playing. But I lost control of my character. My sprite just walked towards the basket with the train in it, and then looked around the room. By now, I was starting to think this was just a hacked chip, an illegal copy of the Pokemon White game. N walked into the room. He didn't move. He didn't say anything. He just stood there and stared at my character. After about 2 to 3 minutes, he finally said something. What the hell? What is he doing? He walked towards my character and said, "It's sad, isn't it?" I was really wondering what was wrong with N at this point. After that, he left the room and I was able to move again. I picked up the rare candy, the reason I walked into that room in the first place, and went to the place where you would normally fight the final battle with N. Although, something in my gut told me this wouldn't end the usual way. When I got to the main room, I battled N and Getsis just like normal, but after defeating Getsis, he turned to N and said, "Finish him." N took a step back. What? Getsis walked towards N and said, "N, he killed one of your beloved friends, one of your Pokemon. Don't you want revenge?" I couldn't read anymore. N had needed my help, and I just turned my back on him. This was all my fault. I steeled my emotions and continued. "N, this is not a game." N moved towards me. "Not a game?" He turned to Getsis, and a text box appeared. Getsis' sprite grayed and faded away. The screen turns black. I hear the sound from when you enter a house, and then find myself back in my character's house, in his room. The game reverted to normal, and I tried to forget everything that had happened. I was sure that the not a game thing wasn't just a hacker screwing with the player. You can imagine that after playing this, I wasn't overly excited for Pokemon White version 2 anymore. However, I still bought the game. I didn't want another hack like before. I started playing it. Everything was normal until, yeah, you can guess where things started getting weird again. After I defeated the Elite Four and the champion Iris, I visited N's castle. I walked in and found N standing, facing me, silently looking down at the floor. I tried to talk to him, but to no avail. I decided to give up and leave, and as I tried to exit, N finally said, "It's been a long time." I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was some sort of Easter egg or something like that. I walked into N's room, and the usual slow childlike music started playing, just like the first time N walked in and said, "I'll never forgive you." I realized that this wasn't some kind of Easter egg. He was talking about his dead Pokemon. The music became slower and deeper. At first, I didn't even notice it. "You'll pay for what you've done." I realized that he wasn't talking to my character. He was talking to me. This wasn't a hacked game, nor was it an Easter egg. This was something much worse. I slammed the off button on my DS, looked up into the reflection of my PC monitor. I always play games in front of my PC. The chair's really comfy. And I saw a face behind me. I turned around to see who it was. But of course, there was no one to be seen. I closed my eyes and tried to calm down. What I'd seen was horrible. It was N. But not the normal N. He had red eyes, a smile that reached literally ear to ear, and white hair. And worst of all, his eyes were bleeding. To this day, I still don't really know what went on, or why it happened to me, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like, and if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Creepypasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.